Hello everyone. Today in this session, I am going to show you Snake and Apple game. Yes, the very famous Nokia Snake and Apple game, which is now called Snake and Apple Google game. So we will create this Snake and Apple game in a very simple steps. It contains 5 steps. Step 1 is basically we will create the background and the sprites. We will make the snake move. Snake gets the apple and we will work on the score. As the snake gets the score, we will also increase the length of the score and then we will work on the game over. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started without wasting any time. We are going to create background and the sprite. So as a background, we have this background which I sort of downloaded from internet. You can also download it and we need a snake. So a snake, this I have drawn myself. If you want to use it, download it from internet. That is also absolutely fine. And we need an apple. So I have downloaded a couple of images from the internet. You can also do so. And this one we are going to use as a background. So I'm going to import this one as a background. So it is here. Yeah, it is here. And probably I can rename it to BG. So I have first a sprite, another sprite. I need an apple. So I will get an apple from this library itself. So getting an apple. Yes, this is the apple which I'm going to pick up. And the next, very importantly, what do we need? We need the snake. So for the snake, I'm going to draw my own snake. So you can also draw your own snake and you can use this tool. I am going to draw something like this. So this is what I have already drawn and you can also draw something similar according to your imagination. So here I have all the 4 animations in front of me. We have this background and this snake. So for a snake, it is important. You can see that, I have actually created 1, 2, 3, 4 animations for a snake. Why do we need 4 animation? We need 4 animation because when my snake is going to take a turn, something like that, we will have to show that it is actually turning towards that direction. So let me show you what do I mean. When we run this project down, down is a different. So the snake face should be towards the direction it is moving. So for that, I have actually created 4 sprites, not 4 sprites, 4 animations. So let's get started. Quickly, we are going to create the sprite. So my first sprite is going to be background. Create a sprite. All of you should know by now how do we create a sprite. If you don't know, here is a video. You can follow the entire series and you will be good. You will be very good to do all these things. Okay. So function draw comes by default, but somehow it is not coming here on my screen. So that's okay. We can write it. This is the function draw and draw a sprite. So these were the 3 steps to create any sprite. We have it and I will have to scale this. So let me quickly scale it. Scale also you can learn from the properties. So there is a video for properties. You can definitely follow it. We have completed our step 1. We have actually created the background and we have also created all the sprites. What is the step 2? Step 2 is to make the snake move. So how we can make the snake move? To make this, so basically I will be working on left, right and up and down keys. If you are comfortable with ASWD keys, as many of my students wants to work with ASWD, so this is your choice. So let me quickly put up the code to make the snake move. This is how we are going to do it. If key down is say for example up, so it means my snake should actually move upwards. So I'm going to say if the key press is up, then say snake dot set speed and direction. Okay, so for speed, we will take a variable. It is better to take a variable for speed so that, later on, if you want to change it or if you want to create another version of it, you will just have to change the speed variable and it will do. So snake set speed and direction. Speed is going to be speed, which is this variable. I have reset it to 5. And when we say that it is up, the movement should be in the minus 90-degree direction. So, okay. And what other thing we want? We also want to change the snake's animation to the up animation, which we have already created. So my snake's speed and direction has been set and the animation has also been set. This we need to repeat for other keys also, for other directions. So I'm making a copy paste. Make sure you don't do a copy paste mistake. So yes. This is a very, very useful feature. Copy paste. Okay, so make the necessary changes. This is also very, very important. Up was minus 90, down is going to be 90. And then we have right to be 0 degrees because that is the default direction or the default direction of any sprite, right? And then we have left key. So for left, we will make it 180. Okay, we will also have to change the animation. So this was a snake up. For down, it will be snake down. This is how I have renamed my animations. We will see it. The snake left. Okay, so let me see if I have given them the correct name or not. Yes, upright, left down. Okay, so we are done with the step 2. But before we conclude, we are done with step 2. Let's do a quick test. So let me run it. Okay, very good. My snake is moving in all the directions. I'm able to move it with up, down, left and right arrow keys. What next? Next, I want my my snake to eat the apples or get the apple. So for that, I will have to work on the collision. So like, if my snake is actually touching with the apple, what do I want to do? So again, for this is an event, not a collision actually. So if my snake dot is touching what? Another sprite, which is apple. So if my snake is touching apple, what do I want to do? If my snake is touching apple, I want to increase the score. So let's first work on the score. For this also, we will take a variable. Variable score is equals to 0. So initially score has to be 0. So variable score is equals to 0. And if my snake is touching the apple, score will be increased by 1. So which means the score is equals to score plus 1. But we also need a mechanism to show this score on the screen. So to show this score on the screen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put an apple, a small apple, something like this as a sprite and against which we will show the score. So quickly, what we will do, I will create another sprite, which I will name as the score apple. And we will position it where we want to display the sprite. So probably somewhere here, I'm making it 50, 50. And we can use the same animation for this sprite as well. The same animation that we have used, that means apple. And of course, we will have to resize. The original size is too big. So score apple dot score. Yeah, fine. Now I want a text as well. So after drawing sprites, it is very important that you write text after draw sprites. Otherwise, what will happen? You will write text and over which the sprites will be drawn and your text will never be visible. So this is one of the tip that I am going to give you. Whenever you are going to write any text, it should be after drawing the sprites. Okay, so what do I want? I want to mention the score, and the score I want somewhere to be displayed here. So it is going to be maybe 70 and 65. Let me try 70 and 65 if it works or not. So we are going to display the text score at 70 and 65. Okay, maybe instead of 65, I can make it 60. And we will also have to work on the text size. So another thing, text size also should be before writing the text command so that, this text size is applicable for that text. Fine. So we have an apple beside which we are able to see the score. So good. We have the score with us. So score is increasing by 1. So let me reset and run it. Okay. One more thing we want. When the snake is touching the apple, it gets the apple and we will move the apple to some other random location. So what I will have to do, I will have to set apple.x is equals to a random location. Means a random number. I have a detailed video on random number. If you want to see what is random number, please do watch that video. And if you are liking all the series and all the chapters, don't forget to subscribe and share the video details to all of your friends. I am on a mission. I am on a mission to teach coding to each and every child in the world. And you can help me by subscribing to the channel and share the information to each and everybody. Okay, so we have reset the apple's X and Y positions to somewhere else where again my snake will go and try to get the apple again. So let me see if it is working or not. Yes, it is working. My score is also working perfectly fine. Oh, very good. Now comes the very, very interesting part of this game, which is my snake's length keep on increasing. So my snake's length keep on increasing. For this, what I will have to do? For this, we will create a group of snake sprites, in which my first sprite is going to be this snake sprite, and then below which we will keep on adding more sprites, more square sprites, so that its length keep on increasing. We will give it a nice tail. So we will have a group of sprites, to which my first sprite is going to be this snake sprite itself. And we will keep on adding some square sprites, default square sprites of different colors, so that my snake's length keep on increasing. So for this, first of all, we are going to create a snake group. Snake group. This is what I'm going to give it a name. And the command is create group. Okay, we have a group created. Then snake group. Let's see. Snake group dot add. What we are going to add? The first sprite. My first sprite being added is a snake itself. So we have added this snake. And then what we will do? Snake is touching apple. We will create other sprites. And we will make sure that these other sprites are actually following the snake. So let's do the easy thing first. Let's create a new sprite. So sprite s is equals to create sprite. Let's create it at a 200 position, because anyways it needs to follow my snake. So 200, and we will have to give it a size. So for size, again, I'm going to declare a variable. It is better to work with variables, so that, if you want to change, you will just have to change at one place and everything will be taken care. So I'm going to create a sprite at 200 position of 15 length and width. Okay, I'm not going to give it any animation. I will just give it color. So shape color is the command. Shape color is equals to, we are going to say RGB. And in RGB, we will give, I want it to be look like, what is the color of my snake? The color of my snake is blue. So I want to give it the hues of blues, all hues of blues. So if I want to give it all hues of blues, what I will have to do, I will keep this red and green 0, and blue keep on changing from 0 to 255. So let's do this. Again, we will make use of random number. You should definitely watch the video on random number. The link is right here. So this is going to be a random number between 0 to 255. Okay, so let me first see if we are actually able to create this as sprite or not. So let me test it. Testing is very important, that you should keep on testing your code. Okay, fine. Okay, so my sprites are getting created. So one thing I noticed, probably instead of 15, okay, this should be size. Okay, I spoke about using a variable, and I am not using variable. You should not never do this. Okay, so yes, size, the value of size is 10. Let me make it 20. I want it to be of the same size as the size of my snake's head. So let me run and see. Yes, this is almost of the same size, but probably I can make it 22. Yeah, I will make it 22. Okay, so I will make it 22. Okay, so we have created the code. We have written the code. If the snake is touching the apple, we will create the new sprites. We are also giving it a shape. But tell me one thing. We are giving it a shape, but the very, very important thing is missing. All these new sprites that we are creating are not following the snake. Only when they follow the snake, it will look like the snake is getting longer. So how do it follow the snake? For this, we are going to use for loop. Yes, for loop. For this, we are going to use for loop. Before I start writing the code, let me explain you how the sprites will actually follow each other. So assume this is my first sprite. Okay, and we have the sprite that was created somewhere. We are actually creating all other sprites here at 0, 0 position. So this is my snake's head. Okay, and this sprite is being created here. But what do we want? We want to change its position. We want to change its position so that it should have always follow this sprite. If I want this new sprite which we have created always follow this, it should actually keep on taking the X and Y position of this sprite. Okay, so what does it mean? If, say, for example, this snake's head was at, let me make it. Okay, if a snake's head was at, say, for example, 100 and 100 position, then it should also come to the 100, 100. When a snake's head is moving to 100, 120, it should quickly move to 100 and 150. So what do I want? And if we have another third sprite being created, when my snake is actually taking another apple, we are creating one more sprite, which is, say, for example, this one. So when one more sprite is being created, it should follow this sprite. So it should keep on taking the position, the X and Y position of the previous sprite, and the previous sprite should take the X and Y position of the previous sprite. So like this, they will keep on following each other. So let me clear this and start writing the code. So what we are going to do, outside this snake is touching the apple event, we are going to write the code of for loop. For variable I is equals to snake group dot length. Length will give us the length of the group. What is the length of the group? Means how many sprites you have added to that particular group. We want a -1 because, we do not want, the last one is not going to follow anybody. The last one is going to follow the previous one, but the last sprite is nobody is going to follow. There is no sprite. So we will keep it -1. And we will keep on doing this till I is greater than 0. And we will make I minus minus. Means every time this loop is executing, the value of I will decrease by 1. Fine. So what does it mean? What does it mean? What I am going to do? So snake group dot get I. It means the last, I is the, we are saying I is equals to snake group dot length -1. So the last sprite dot get X dot X is going to be what is the X position of the previous sprite. Previous sprite is at the I -1 position dot X. Okay. Similarly, we will do it for Y coordinate as well, because we want the sprite to follow the previous sprite. So I'm going to do the same thing for Y coordinate as well, and I'm going to run it. I'm keeping my finger crossed. I hope it will work. Okay, so yes, gets an apple. Okay, it's not working. It's not following. It's not following because when we are creating this sprite S, we have not added it to the group. Yeah, we need to add it to the group. So yeah, S dot. So what is the name of group? Is snake group dot add S. I hope it will work this time. So this is how you should keep on actually testing your code. Otherwise, at the end, you may be wondering what happened, why it's not working. So keep on testing your code in between. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah, I got one. Yes, fine. Yes, now the snake has started getting its tail, and the tail has started getting longer and longer and longer as it is getting or eating more and more apples. So very good. I think enough of testing. I am loving playing it, but yeah, enough of testing. Let me reset and go to the last step. What is the last step? The last step is to end the game. So when do we want to end the game? We want to end the game when the snake is touching the edges. So for this, we will create the edge sprites first. When we use this command, create edge sprites, what happens? This creates 4 sprites. Those are known as left, right, up and down sprites, edges. Okay, they are known as left, right, up and down edges. Start writing the code. If snake dot is touching what? Because we have used this command create edge sprites. It means it is have actually created the 4 edge sprites, which I can access like by this left edge. You can see as I type LE, it is coming left edge, right edge, okay, and top edge and bottom edge. These are the 4 sprites that it has created. But in my code, I want to use it for all the edges. My command is same for all the edges, so I can just write edges. Edges is nothing but the group of all these edge sprites. So I want to apply it for all the sprites, so I will use this group edges. If a snake is touching the edges, what do we want? We want to, first thing, we want to set its snake.set speed and direction to 0. Speed 0, direction 0. And to also make this apple sprite as invisible, is equals to false. Okay, and we want to display a message game over. So to display a message game over, again, we will use this text. And maybe somewhere here I will write it. So it is around here. Okay, so this is 80. I'm taking approximation in tens. So 80 and 160. So my message is game over, where I want to display it 80 and 160. Okay, before that, I would like to work on the text size. So the size here could be maybe 50. I'm trying with 50. We will see. And the fill color also. So fill color, we will give red. And let's see how does it looks like. So we want to test. Okay, I'm seeing an error. We will definitely fix it. Game over. Yes. Okay, that's okay. So what was the error that I was looking? When the game starts, okay, maybe the positions of no error. Yes, it's good. It's good to play. Hope you enjoyed the session. Don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel and share your experience in the comments. See you soon. Bye-bye.